Good morning, sir and classmates. I am Crisanel Dasalia from BSA 3C, and today I'm going to discuss with you about the environmental effects of pesticides. So, what is pesticide? Pesticides present the only group of chemicals that are purposely applied to the environment with aim to suppress plant and animal pests and to protect agricultural and industrial products. It can affect non-target plants and animals. It can also loss of biodiversity. It can persist in soil, leach to groundwater and surface water. It can be bioaccumulate in food chains. Overall, intensive pesticide application results in several negative effects in the environment that cannot be ignored. According to Rachel Carson, an American courageous woman and scientist, wrote down her nature observation and pointed out sudden dying of birds caused by indiscriminated spraying of pesticide. Her book, Silent Spring, became a landmark. It changed the existing view on pesticides and has stimulated public concern on pesticides and their impact on health and the environment. So, these substances today, we still do not have sufficient amount of knowledge about their possible risks and adverse effects on the environment and human. Several of them appear to have a bad environmental profile. So, these are the environmental effects of pesticide in different compartments. First, soil contamination. Pesticides enter the soil via spray drift during foliage treatment, wash off from treated foliage, released from granules or from treated seeds in soil. But some pesticides such as soil fumigants and nematicides are applied directly into a soil to control pests and plant diseases presented in soil. Sorption. Sorption is the most important interaction between soil and pesticide and limits degradation as well as transport in soil. Pesticides bound the soil, organic matter or clay particles are less mobile, bioavailable but also less accessible to microbial degradation and those more persistent. Addition of organic matter to soil can enhance sorption and reduce risk to water pollution. So, second, water contamination. Pesticides can get into water via drift during pesticide spraying, by runoff from treated area, leaching through the soil. In some cases, pesticides can be applied directly onto water surface for control of mosquitoes. Water contamination depends mainly on nature of pesticides. Rapid transport to groundwater may be caused by heavily rainfall shortly after application of the pesticide to wet soils. Streams and rivers were frequently more polluted than that groundwaters and more near the areas with substantial agricultural and urban land use. Pesticides usually occurred in mixture of multiple compounds, even if individual pesticides were detected below limits. This potentially can lead to underestimation of toxicity when assessments are based on individual compounds. So, effect on organism. Soil microorganisms play a key role in soil. They are essential for maintenance of soil structure, transformation, and mineralization of organic making nutrients available for plants. Soil organisms are also able to metabolize and degrade a lot of pollutants and pesticides, and those are a great concern for using a biotechnology. On the other hand, microbial degradation can lead to formation of more toxic and persistent metabolites. Soil invertebrates, nematodes, springtails, mites, and further microarthropods, earthworms, spiders, insects, and all these small organisms make up the soil food web and enable the decomposition of organic compounds such as leaves, manure, plants, residues, and they are also prey on crop pests. Soil organisms enhance soil aggregation and porosity, and those increasing infiltration and reducing runoff. In earthworms, represent the greatest part of biomass of terrestrial invertebrates and play an important role in soil ecosystem. They are used as bioindicator of soil contamination, providing an early warning of decline in soil quality. They serve as model organism in toxicity testing. Earthworms are characterized by high ability to accumulate a lot of pollutants from soil in their tissues. Thus, they are used for studying of bioaccumulation potential of chemicals. So, other soil species are also often affected by pesticides application, and non-target soil community structure can be strongly affected. So, number 4, effects of pesticides and farming practices on biodiversity. Intensive pesticides and fertilizers usage, loss of natural and semi-natural habitats, and decreased habitat heterogeneity, and all other aspects of agricultural intensification have undoubted impact on biodiversity decline during last year. The pressures of agricultural changes may be reduced by minimizing loss of large habitats, minimizing permanent loss of agricultural land, maintain habitat diversity in agricultural landscapes in order to provide ecosystem services, minimizing pollution from nutrients and pesticides from the crops themselves. So, let's be pesticide-free, not just for our own good, but for our nation's safety and lifelong health. Remember that health is wealth. Thank you and have a good day.